I said not to follow!
Jesus, you've lost your head, man!
It's a fair exchange for finding these flintlocks and grenados.
Listen, Vane. We can hunt with those guns.
And I mean to! Not dead yet! Here! I'll flush you out! Not dead yet! Here! You can't hide, can we? Blow off some limbs! No escaping me! You and your bloody fairy stories got us into this mess, Kenway. And I'll be damned if I let you drag me into another.
You keep this up, and I'll have to kill you, Vane!
Bloody try, by all means!
Yeah.
I see you coming, Kerr! I see you plain and clear! It's either you or me who's leaving this island alive, Welcher! Because I'm not gonna sail again in a world cursed by your ugly boat! Bloody rags will be all that's left of you, Kenway! I'll flush you out!
You goddamn fucking knave, Vane!
Nancy boy! You only done half a fucking job!
Fucking hell. Is this my reward for believing the best about men? For thinking that a bilge rat like you could muster up some fucking sense once in a while? Maybe Horn of Gold was right. Maybe the world does need men of ambition. Stop the likes of you from mucking it all up.
Or maybe you just don't have the stones to live with no regrets.
Don't save me a spot in hell, Shanker. I ain't coming soon.
As Edward Kenway continues his downward spiral into the big black void that he thinks the observatory is in, he loses faith with his crew, his friends, and with the city of Nassau, recently saved from a barbarous government and deadly diseases. With an all-consuming desire to get back on the path of the observatory, him and Vane, one of his dumb drinking buddies, come up with a plan to track down the slaver ship that supposedly carries the Great Sage and the only person who knows where the temple is. Edward and Vane load up a crew of Nassau's finest and go on an expedition, one that ends halfway across the Isles with a firefight gone sideways and then completely upside down. The result of the battle was so awful that it left the battleship they were using in total disrepair. No sails, rudder, or equipment of any kind. But thankfully, they were able to go down in a blaze of glory while also killing all the enemies on the ship they were hunting, leaving them with an option. Or it would have been if Edward hadn't just dragged everybody on a fanatical near-suicide mission. The crew has had enough of following Edward's faithlessness and declared themselves king of the castle, taking the ship-shaped vessel and leaving both Edward and Charles to fail at figuring out how to get their corpse of a boat home. The only option was to make for the only land available, an uncharted island that Vane and Edward have to share. Edward makes quick work of it and starts digging a niche out until help arrives. Vane pisses in that newly created niche and makes fast work in becoming Edward's deadly rival. For a cache of clams, Vane declares his death wish of Edward and the pair run into the forest to try and settle their differences. Fair points to Edward as he tries to convince Vane to get back on his side so that they can survive better together, but Vane is the only one with a firearm and he's blaming Edward for all their problems, so this assassination begins. It's a challenging set piece, yes, but it's also pretty bullshit. Vane is the only one with a gun, and since the arenas for the assassination have limited cover, you basically just have to roll the RNG and hope for the best as you hop your way towards the higher ground that Vane keeps taking. Vane is just too far away to get a real glimpse of him reloading, so that doesn't help, and since Edward has gone through an ability loss moment, he also doesn't have any gear to help him out in murdering his old partner in crime. Plus, Vane's gun can kill Edward in 2 shots with the regenerating health deciding to not be a team player today. It all adds up to an unsavory and unbalanced battle where you have to figure out a climbing strategy on the fly with very little clues provided to help out. It's not like it's satisfying to actually kill Charles Vane, since he's gone so psychotic that it's more like putting down a mad dog than an actual villain. You can't have a good talk about your conflicting motivations, mostly because it was a stupid fight they were having anyway. If Vane had just kept his damned mouth shut for a day or two, then he would have figured out that help was right on the horizon. Edward gets rescued by his remaining friends right after this assassination in an effort to keep the plot rolling by the writers. This mission was one of the biggest clues that Edward's hunt for the observatory has truly become a quest of self-destruction. He's teetering on losing any respect and goodwill from any of his friends and allies, and it's only going to be a matter of time whether or not he realizes that before he goes completely bust. Yeah, he's making a few scores here and there, but gold coins aren't going to keep him warm at night.